G'day, Harrison here again, or the Arabian Pleb. Maybe I'll call this the Arabian Pleb podcast, or the Arabian Pleb experience with your host Harrison. I don't know, just messing around. I'll come up with something. Should have some sort of a name for it. But anyway, g'day, mate. How you going? So just wanted to do another one of these and go through shit I'm into and interested in. So I'll pop over to this share screen. So again, just like to look at the price of gold. Excuse me. And yeah, just have another look at it. So we're still up at, just in Aussie dollars, still over $5,000, 5,200, which is incredible, ridiculous. And something that's worth thinking about is the price of gold going up this much really, is the value of the Australian dollar, because it's priced in Aussie dollars, the value of the Australian dollar going down. So almost like a better way of thinking about that or visualizing that would be to flip this chart upside down. So that's your dollar. That's the Aussie dollar priced in gold falling off a cliff. And the same with silver. Oh, that's in US dollars, but hang on, let me go to silver in Aussie dollars. I mean, it's the same thing. Flip that upside down. That's the Aussie dollar priced in silver. The value of the Aussie dollar just falling off a cliff. So just something to think about. Let's have a look at just the Aussie dollar itself. If I can find it. Where are you? Okay, so this is the Aussie dollar against the US dollar. And we're hovering around that 63, nearly touching 64 US cents. So it's had a little bit of a bounce back. So this is a weekly chart, which is probably good to keep it in just for a greater context. If I zoom right out, you can see clearly we peaked out at $1.10 Aussie dollars buying US dollars. And since then, it's just been a steady decline and even a sharp decline at times, really fallen off a cliff here in September 2014 and just getting decimated. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's kind of bounced off this this previous support resistance area of around 59 cents. And here's the COVID crash here, where it got as low as, 55 cents and change. So I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of came back down to almost retest this 55-cent area. That's typically what, that wouldn't be unusual in, that wouldn't be an unusual market, activity for it to kind of try and retest and reconfirm that 55-cent level. But we'll see. It'd be nice if it didn't. It'd be nice if it just rallied from here and, broke the previous swing high and then we've, start another bull trend or start a bull trend after this huge bear trend since it peaked out in 2011. So that's your Aussie dollar. We could have a look at the Aussie dollar against the euro. And, kind of similar trend, just in a massive bear market since since 2012, July 2012. So lovely. Let's look at the DXY, the US dollar index. And this thing is starting to sell off over the last couple of weeks, and that's good. It's good for foreigners like myself, foreign to the US. So that'd be great. Let's just keep breaking these fresh lows and keep going lower. Come on, dump it already, Trump. dump that dollar. Let's have a look at the British pound. So British pound British pound sterling. Is that it? What's the ticker for the British pound? What is the ticker for the British pound? It's the Great British Pound. So GBP. Let's have a look at it against the US dollar. USD. Cool, that'll do. Okay, so there's been a bit of a rally in the British pound against the US dollar. Let's go to a weekly chart and see what that looks like. So it appears, okay, since October 2022, where it really bottomed out and also fell off a cliff. It bottomed out, and then we've been rallying ever since. But as you can see, the overall trend has been down, down, down. God, look at that. So this data only goes back to 2009-ish. So I'm sure there's other charts that would have much more data. Actually, let's have a look, because that's a bit shit, only going back to 2009. Surely we've got something else. All right, here we go. There's a bit more data at least. Heaps more data. Let's go to a monthly chart. I hope this is entertaining for someone out there. I hope I'm not just boring the fucking shit out of everyone. I find this stuff interesting, so as my friend Dale would say, fuck the lot of yous. He's so funny. Okay, so this goes back to the 70s. All right, there you go. So that makes sense, pretty much when, the US at least went off the gold standard, which was the end of the Bretton Woods system. And the Bretton Woods system was everyone on the gold standard backed by the US. So if you held US dollars, you effectively, supposedly, were on some sort of a gold standard, as the saying went. The US dollar, was as good as gold. And it's for that very reason, which was the Bretton Woods system came into effect after World War II, when the US really took over the world, took over from Great Britain as being the world empire. Okay, so as you can see, pretty much since 1971, well, not pretty much, certainly since 1971, it's just been a massive bear trend. And as the saying goes, the trend is your friend. So until something substantial happens, like we get some sort of a higher high breaching the previous swing high, and kind of change the momentum somewhat, there's nothing else left to do other than to just assume that we're probably going to make a lower high and then make fresh lows. Okay, so not great if you're British, for my British friends out there. Now, I would like to look at the British pound against gold. So GBP to XAU, I think, is the ticker for gold. No, let's just, okay, first of all, let's, because I'm not sure I'm going to have to look that up, but let's have a look at the British pound against the Aussie dollar. Got that somewhere, surely. Let's have a look. Loading. Come on, man. Or is that as far back as this chart goes? 2005. It's a bit shit. You know what? I'd actually prefer to see the Aussie dollar against the Great British Pound. Oh man, my neck is sore. My neck's been sore for months. I need to go see an osteo or something. Okay, so this is So it's a monthly. So we're on a monthly chart. And this goes back to 1988. That'll do. So the Aussie dollar, relatively speaking, has performed pretty well since its inception. I mean, it started out at 44 cents. And now we're at 48 cents ish. So not great, but not absolutely terrible. But really, it peaked out in 2013, buying 69 cents or Great British pounds, 0.69 British pounds. I don't know how you'd say it. But yeah, since then, 2013, it's been in a bear trend, making lower highs and lower lows. So medium term, that's pretty shit. So that's a bit of a bummer. Now I need to find out I want to see gold priced in British pounds. Let's figure that out. Rightio, so I found it. So gold to the Great British Pound, and as you can see, much like the gold priced in Aussie dollars and gold priced in US dollars, it's just, it's just off to the races. Gold's going way, way up. So 2,507 British pounds, nearly 2,508 British pounds to buy 1 troy ounce of gold. So, and then, again, if I flip the chart upside down, nope. If I flip the chart upside down, nope, it's not going to work. If I flip the chart upside down, that's your British pound falling off a cliff. The value of the British pound is just in the toilet, much like currencies all around the world. So, not great. Good if you're a gold investor again, but not great if you're just the average citizen of these countries and don't really understand this stuff and are just, you're just watching the price of every single basic thing that you need to survive go way, 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 way up. So lovely, lovely stuff. I'll jump into some other stuff now. Just having a look through Twitter or X and just seeing sort of some news of the day things. I just found this clip of President Donald Trump talking about his decision to not attack Iran, and but he hasn't wavered the plans apparently. So I'll just jump over to that. You can sort of I'll just show you. You can watch it for yourself. And I think I've got to mute this mic, so let me do that.
And they say the attack is what?
That you waved off an Israeli plan to attack Iranian nuclear facilities.
I wouldn't say waved off. I'm not in a rush to do it because I think that Iran has a chance to have a great country and to live happily without death. And I'd like to see that. That's my first option. If there's a second option, I think it would be very bad for Iran. And I think Iran is wanting to talk. I hope they're wanting to talk. It's going to be very good for them if they do. And I'd like to see Iran thrive in the future, do fantastically well. I know the Iranian people, they're incredible people. Always have been very smart, very energetic, very successful people. And I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt anybody. I really don't. But Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. It's, pretty simple. It's really simple. We're not looking to take their industry. We're not looking to take their land. All we're saying is you can't have a nuclear weapon.
So there you go from President Trump. I love the way he says industry. But I mean, yeah, like it's just so hypocritical. I find like him when he says, or any US politician or Israeli politician says, Iran can't have a nuke. You motherfuckers all have nukes. So like, what the fuck? And Iran is a signatory to the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Israel is not, and Israel has nukes. Iran doesn't have a nuke. I heard Dave DeCamp saying on antiwar.com that there was a recent, whatever they call it, like a defense a US defense assessment that Iran is not trying to develop nuclear weapons. This has been clear for decades now, as much as you would probably hear the average layman or Benjamin Netanyahu or all these US politicians claiming to the contrary that Iran either does have a nuke or is 5 days away from having a nuke or 3 months away from having a nuke or 5 years away from having a nuke. But the fact is that they do not have nuclear weapons. They have regular inspections from the IAEA, the International Atomic and Energy Agency, and that was greatly increased, those inspections as well, when Obama negotiated the Iran deal, or the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. That was part of the deal, was like all the deal really was, because Iran already was, like I said, signed on to the Non-Proliferation Treaty and already having regular inspections from the IAEA. So all the deal really did was add an additional layer of inspections, more regular inspections. And there was a couple other like tiny little things, around the edges, slight differences. But, what Obama was trying to do was take war off the table with Iran by signing that deal, which the Israelis really didn't like. And Saudi Arabia was really pissed off about too. So yeah, just this bullshit about Iran, can't have a nuke, is trying to get a nuke, is just false. It's not true at all. It's all Israeli propaganda. So there you go, Trumpy boy, talking it up. Oop. So I'll try and find what else we got here. I half thought about talking about the recent debate between Anthony Albanese and Peter Dutton, but it's just too painful, guys. Like, it's just such crap. I find it so uninteresting. Like, I know I'm an Aussie and I probably should be more interested in Australian politics than American politics, but I just find American politics is far more consequential, has a far bigger impact even to Australia and just, globally. Australia itself is just, a fucking fly in the ointment. Like, it's just a drop in the ocean. No one gives a crap. But obviously, Australian domestic policy has a big impact on me and Australian citizens, but it's all the same shit. It's basically like who they're just having an argument over who's going to give you the most free stuff, quote unquote. Because obviously it's not free; it's all paid for with tax dollars that you and I have to slave over, and then we slave. We work our ass off to earn an honest living, and then the government comes in and steals 30% or 40% or whatever it is of your money. So effectively, you are working 30% or 40% of the year for the government. So, like, at what point is that not slavery? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you worked and 100% of your income was taken for the government, so 100% of the money you earn is stolen, then we'd all agree that is slavery. But 30 or 40%, supposedly, that's not slavery. So at what point is it not slavery? Is it at at what point is it slavery? Or is it not? I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I worked 90% of the year, if 90% of my money is taken from me involuntarily, is that not slavery? So, and 80% and 70%, 60%, 50%, 40%, 30%. You see what I'm saying? So it's all fucking bullshit. I hate these scumbags. But yeah, so Peter Dutton, Albanese, they had a debate on ABC. Go check it out. It's absolute fucking trash. It's so frustrating. Is arguing over the dumbest shit and just bold-faced lie after bold-faced lie. Just lying, saying that renewable energy is the cheapest form of energy. It's such fucking bullshit. It's extremely frustrating, and it's the same old dogmatic crap that I just couldn't give two fucks about, really, because they're just both a bunch of cunts. I might wrap it up shortly. I'll just do one more little segment. It's worth checking out. Antiwar.com, the best website if you want to know everything about foreign policy in terms of US foreign policy and just what's going on around the world and what poor third world countries the US is going around picking on. So let me just go over to that now. So here it is here. I won't read any of the articles, but I'll just, we'll just go through the headlines quickly. And it's definitely worth getting over here at antiwar.com and clicking on the articles and giving them all a read. It's phenomenal stuff. Dave DeCamp and, God damn it, I always forget who the other, Jason Ditz. I think it's Jason Ditz who's the other main writer over there. And then also Dave DeCamp has a YouTube channel, Dave DeCamp at antiwar.com. And he reads through all the articles and will do a much better job than me. I'm a pretty shit reader. But I give it a crack. And I do read. I'm just really slow and not that great at it. But so let's just go from the top. So these are the top articles. There's updated the April the 15th, 2025. So a couple of days ago now. Israel to get major new US arms shipment. Israeli strikes on Gaza kill 38 Palestinians over the last 24 hours. Hamas rejects truce proposal for Palestinian groups to surrender. Hamas not defeated. Reserves overstretched. Israeli army chief. 15 US airstrikes hit Yemen's Marib province. US launches airstrikes in Somalia, says one ISIS fighter killed. US had no evidence to deport Tufts student. Palestinian called in for citizenship interview, then arrested by ICE. Trump suggests Iran slow walking talks. Israeli troops pushed deeper into Lebanon. Zelensky, Russian narratives are prevailing in US. So they're all the headlines at antiwar.com. Again, go over, check it out, give them all a read. It's phenomenal stuff. Maybe, I don't know, this is a relatively short episode what I'm doing right now, but maybe in the future I might try and pick out some of the most interesting articles and give them a little read. And then there's all the viewpoints here too, which they're worth checking out as well. Congress hates trade war, but doesn't mind real wars. That's by Daniel R. DePetris. Standing at the Edge of the Iran War Cliff by Ron Paul, the great Ron Paul, greatest living American. How Israel ceased negotiations and resumed firing on Gaza by Jeremy Scahill. And Israel targeted my colleague in an airstrike by Tariq S. Hajjaj. So check all that stuff out, antiwar.com. Harrison here. All right, I'm getting out of here. Hope you all have a lovely day. Hope you all have a lovely Easter long weekend as well. I know I'm going to be working because I just need to make as much money as I possibly can. But I will catch up with some family, and I hope you all do as well. Happy Easter. God bless, and peace out.